Do you think that you're someone that has high levels of cortisol? If you know what cortisol is, you know that it's the stress hormone, you know that it contributes to body fat, you know that it contributes to other stress hormones cascading throughout your body, making you feel more stressed out and more out of whack. Well, what if I told you that one of the best ways to combat cortisol levels is with simple vitamin C? You see, a lot of studies are starting to find that vitamin C could be the link when it comes down to modulating our cortisol levels. We have to know what cortisol is really quick though. Cortisol is a steroid hormone that is produced by the body as a response to stress. It is what triggers the fight or flight response in the body. If your cortisol levels remain elevated for too long, your body goes into that starvation mode, you start storing body fat, everything becomes a mess. So let's take a look at some science really quick on why vitamin C could be the key to reduce the belly fat, but also get rid of those cortisol levels that are too high. This study was presented at the American Chemical Society conference back in 1990 in New Orleans. This information has quite honestly been kept from us for an extended period of time. What this study looked at was two groups of rats. One group of rats that took a placebo and one group of rats that took 200 milligrams of vitamin C daily. That's over 3 times the recommended daily allowance of vitamin C for rats. Okay, now both groups of rats, they exposed to 1 hour of stress per day for 3 weeks. Well, what they measured at the end of the 3 weeks was the overall cortisol and stress response on these rats. And what they found at the end of the 3 weeks was that the vitamin C group ended up having significantly less stress response and significantly less plasma cortisol levels than the placebo group, therefore showing that when vitamin C was in the equation, they were able to modulate stress significantly better. But as a bonus, they also found that the vitamin C group had high levels of immunoglobulin G, IgG. Now, IgG is the antibody that flows around through the body to prevent illness, basically a defense mechanism, which we obviously know that vitamin C is good for our immune system. So we not only were able to reduce cortisol levels, but we were able to enhance our immune system in the process. Then there was another study that took a look a little bit more in depth in a human study. And this particular study was published in 2002 in Psychopharmacology. And it took a look at 60 healthy adults. Half of them were given a placebo, and half of them were given 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And again, what they did is they measured a number of things after exposure to stress over the course of 2 weeks. Well, at the end of the 2 weeks, the vitamin C group had significantly lower levels of systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure, and a multitude of other metabolic functions, but they had a much faster cortisol recovery time. What that cortisol recovery time is how long it takes your body to actually bounce back from stress, which quite honestly is even more important than the overall cortisol levels to begin with. Now, how vitamin C and cortisol work together, we don't honestly know the full answer to, but we do know the metabolic response and the metabolic pathway that vitamin C is involved in. When we do get stressed out, we do produce something known as adrenocorticotrophic hormone. What this adrenocorticotrophic hormone does is it signals the adrenals to produce the stress hormones like cortisol. But we've also found that when this adrenocorticotrophic hormone is released and the adrenals release more stress hormones, the adrenals also lose their vitamin C levels. So we know that when we get stressed out, our adrenal glands get depleted of vitamin C. That's why it's extremely important that you take in as much vitamin C as you possibly can. Problem is, a lot of times when you take water-soluble vitamin C, like most capsules, it ends up going in your body and going right out through the urine stream. And that's exactly why you want to make sure you get your vitamin C in a liposomal micellar form that can actually be absorbed and utilized by the body in a fat-soluble form, not a water-soluble form. So make sure you click on the link and learn a little bit more about how PuraTHRIVE's Radiant Vitamin C can not only help you modulate cortisol and stress, but also enhance your immune system so you don't get quite so sick this winter. I'll see you on the next page.